What's going on YouTube? I'm back with part 3 of the Full Time Flex Bootcamp review, and I'm going to begin where I left off. In my last video, I mentioned that I was going to start the jQuery section of the training, but I had a meeting with my mentor, a weekly meeting. We always have 2 meetings a week. During the previous meeting with my mentor, and as we were reviewing the information and the material that I learned, he recommended that I go back and review especially the objects in the JavaScript. So that delayed my starting of the jQuery section of the program. Nonetheless, I still got started. On a side note, if you are going to enroll in a Thinkful program and you have no experience coding, you are going to go through some struggles. The program is not necessarily designed for an absolute beginner who has no experience. That does not mean that a beginner who has no experience cannot learn in this program. It's just not, in my opinion, designed for one. I'm an absolute beginner. I had no experience before enrolling to the program, and I can honestly say that I am learning. Thinkful does offer lots of outside resources or lots of other resources than the program material itself to help, like I mentioned earlier, like the mentors and the program manager and the Q&A sessions. But they also do, at least I'm in the Washington, D.C. area, they do have meetups regularly to go over things that students are struggling with. So back to the program. Now I am on a jQuery section of the program, and as I mentioned in previous video, the end of this section is going to require me to build a quiz app. Well, the reason it took me so long to get this video out to you guys is because while I was working on that quiz app, I went through some struggles. It is almost complete, but man did I struggle. And I can honestly say, if not for the help of the mentors or the instructors that the bootcamp offer, I would not have gotten it done. I am behind schedule. My program manager and I spoke about it, but it's not uncommon. I can catch up. I believe I will catch up. But this quiz app put me behind because I struggled with the jQuery and the JavaScript. In my previous video, I mentioned that a beginner with no experience should have some other outside resources in order to help them to learn to get through the program. I am a lynda.com, now known as linkedinlearning.com member, and that's what I use to brush up on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery. I did mention that using some outside resources benefits a student or a beginner if you have no knowledge and experience. I am going to stick to that, but I'm going to modify it a little bit. Thinkful offers tutors that hold Q&A sessions an hour at a time, almost daily. Not every tutor will offer the services that you're working on. I see a lot of React, Node.js tutors on there. I am nowhere near there yet. I'm still in the HTML and CSS jQuery section, but there are many days out of the week, and those tutors offer those services. I would strongly suggest that if you do enroll into this program, like you take advantage of those tutors. I've used several of those tutors, and they are very knowledgeable, and they have helped me a lot. They really helped me with my quiz app to get to almost completing it. The first 3 units of this course is structured in a written lecture format. A lot of reading with examples, some practice what you just learned, and move on. Throughout the reading, they offer links to external resources to help you better understand the topic they're currently covering. To make things short and sweet, there is a lot of reading in the first 3 parts of this course. Everything is reading and memorizing. It's not imperative that you memorize everything that you've read, but it's best that you grasp an understanding of what you've read. To give you a breakdown of the course, I am finishing up my quiz app, and I am going to submit it for review. The way the review works is that someone is going to review my code of my quiz app, and they're going to score my code, or they're going to score my app based on a rubric that they provided us. I believe that I touched on everything on the rubric that they wanted me to touch on, so I'll see what kind of score they give me. If I receive a passing score, I move on to the next phase, which is the interview portion. I will have an interview with a representative from Thinkful to go over my app, basically to ensure that I understand everything that was done, how it was done, to basically go over everything that was done, how I did it, why I did it. I can assume it's a way to make sure they understand that I understand what I'm doing. So I'll flat out say it. I did not write every line of code without any assistance from my quiz app. I did use some Google searches and some other templates. That's not uncommon to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. But the thing is, they want to make sure that you understand what you are writing. Even though this is a challenging process, I am enjoying the struggles that I'm going through thus far. There's more to this program than just studying and practicing. Thinkful does a good job of hosting other events to get students to come together and meet industry professionals, work on projects with other students, go to startups. I believe a student in this course, as challenging as the course is, being around like-minded people consistently will help the student get through some of the challenging parts of the class. My mentor mentions to me that this is the easy part of the class and I'm already behind. So therefore it's going to get more challenging, and it is good to know that there are other people that go through the same struggles I'm going through, and that there are professionals, knowledgeable people available to help me understand what I have to go through. Developing this app did put what I've learned to the test. I did not memorize everything that I've learned in HTML and CSS, but I do have some resources that I can go back to help jog my memory. So those resources helped me design the app the way I wanted to. I did not memorize every method and function or syntax to write every function. All of the jQuery methods, JavaScript functions, and variables, I didn't memorize them all, but when I see them, I know what they mean, and if I need to find a specific one, I know where I can go to find exactly what I need to find. Again, I've only been doing this since June for 2 months, so I don't think it's reasonable to think a beginner would memorize all that stuff they teach you from the very beginning. So this is part 3 of the review. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those down in the comment section below. If you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to subscribe to the channel, I'd appreciate that also. And I look forward to giving you the update on the scores of my quiz app, and when I go through the interview, how that went, and kind of what to expect for the interview. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. I'm out.